This video will show how to stream data from Motive 2.3 to Unreal Engine 5.6, specifically to the MetaHuman. We are going to start from brand new project files from Motive and Unreal Engine 5. I'm going to go and create a blank project and save it under C/Unreal Engine 5. Then I'm gonna go to plugins and search for LiveLink. Then I'm going to enable LiveLink and MetaHuman LiveLink. If you already have OptiTrack installed, go ahead and enable that. If you don't, go to Google and search up OptiTrack UE5 plugin, or click the link in the description. Go to Unreal Engine 5 plugin and select Unreal Engine 5.6 V2. And hit download. To install it, you open up the zip file and locate where you installed Unreal Engine. The default directory is going to be program files /epic games /engine version /engine /plugins, and you can just drag it in. Restart Unreal Engine and you will see OptiTrack LiveLink. Enable it and restart the engine. Then you're going to enable the MetaHuman plugins. You're going to need MetaHuman Core Tech. If you don't see it, go to Epic Games Launcher and under Options, enable MetaHuman Core Data and restart once more. You will also need to enable MetaHuman Creator. I'm going to create a MetaHuman character. I'm just going to call it Test. You will use the MetaHuman character you already created, but I'm just going to use a preset as an example. I'm going to create the skeleton, download the textures, and assemble it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and save and restart my engine once more. Now we have the MetaHuman blueprint right here. I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to call it OptiTrack, and in here all my assets will live. Now go to the link in the description and it's going to take you to this Google Drive folder with 3 assets. There's going to be an FBX file and 2 U assets. Download them all. You're going to copy over the U assets into your project directory. For me, it's C/OptiTrack/content and the folder I created. If you don't see them appear, just restart Unreal Engine and you will see them show up. Next, I'm going to import the FBX file. I'm going to click Use Pipeline Defaults and the menu on the top right. I'm going to click Force Front X-Axis. This is very important. Click OK. Make sure your skeleton is set to none. The import skeletal meshes is checked on. Import animations is off. Import materials is off, and import textures is also off, and hit import. Now we have our skeleton, our skeletal mesh, and our IK rig, and our RK retargeter. I'm gonna open up the IK rig and drag in the skeletal mesh we just imported. Then I'm going to open up my retargeter and choose the IK rig we just created. And for the target, I'm going to choose the MetaHuman IK rig. Then I'm going to go into my retarget chains. Because you're using the assets I already created, they should be named already. In case they're not, I'm going to go down the list with you. For the source pelvis bone, you're going to choose the hips. And for the target, you're going to choose pelvis. For your retargeting forward kinematic chains, you're going to scroll down and make sure your metacarpals are set to none. And if you see twist joints, those should also be set to none. Now, to get the data streaming from Motive, go to the Streaming tab and click Broadcast Frame Data On. For your local interface, choose Loopback if you have Unreal Engine and Motive on the same machine. If you're streaming over the network to a different machine, you have to choose the correct IP address, and in Unreal Engine, select the correct server and client addresses. If it doesn't work on the first try, don't worry about it. In the link in the description, there is a separate video going into the common issues with Unreal Engine and Motive when it comes to streaming over the network. For my skeleton coordinates, I have set them to local. My bone naving conventions is set to FBX, and my up axis is Y up. My transmission type is unicast. Multicast might work, and it is the default in Unreal Engine. However, I recommend using unicast. I'm gonna hit play to get data rolling in. And in Unreal Engine, go under Window, Virtual Production, and hit LiveLink. Add Source, OptiTrack Source, and turn off Connect Automatically. This will enable you to change the connection type to unicast. And under Subject Name, click on OptiTrack. And you have to turn off Animate Y Forward. This is also important. Now, we can go back to our IK retargeter and go under preview settings. For the preview controller, I'm going to choose live link preview controller and set my subject name as the same as the skeleton in Motif, and we can see our skeleton moving. At this point, if you're running into any issues, you can go to the link in the description to my in-depth video where I will go into more detail and share the common mistakes when it comes to streaming from Motif to Unreal. Now we can save and close this tab. Now we need to make 2 animation blueprints. First, we will base off of the skeleton we just imported. It should be called OptiScale. And create. I'm going to name it animation blueprint underscore live link. Hit enter. This is a very simple one. Just double click and search up live link, and you're going to see live link pose and connect it up to the result. And select your subject. One small nuance is even if you know the name of the subject and you type it in with the letter, sometimes it doesn't link up. So make sure you choose it from the drop down list instead of typing it in. And I'm going to hit compile and save. And then we can close it. Next animation blueprint is going to be based off of the MetaHuman base skeleton. It should be called MetaHuman base scale. I'm going to name it animation blueprint underscore retarg. And hit enter. This is also a very simple blueprint. Search up retarget pose from mesh. On the IK retargeter asset, you're going to select the one we just created, retarget underscore OptiScale. And we can compile and save it. Now we have to put all the elements we created together. Go and locate the MetaHuman you want to put the animation data onto. For me, it's blueprint underscore test. I'm going to make a duplicate and rename it. I'm going to move it to the OptiTrack folder and go ahead and open it. Go to the viewport tab so we can see what we're doing. I like to force my LOD to 3 while I'm working and LOD 0 to when I'm rendering. I noticed that sometimes the LOD drops above 4 and that can lead to issues with the take recorder. I'm going to click on the root, then click add, select skeletal mesh and rename it to OptiScale. And under mesh, I'm going to choose the skeleton we just imported, OptiScale, and under anim class, we are going to choose our live link asset, AVP underscore live link. And I'm going to take the body and make it the child of the OptiScale. So whatever animation data that gets streamed onto the skeleton will be inherited by the body. For the body, I'm going to choose the retarget and blueprint we just created. Just gonna click on that. And you should already see it moving. Lastly, I'm going to add a live link skeletal animation. Without this, sometimes the blueprint will not update. Final touch is going to be, need to turn off the visibility for that skeletal mesh we created. And compile and save. And that's it. You can see your MetaHuman getting the data streamed onto it, and you can use the take recorder to capture whatever you need. One very important note is going to be that this method is built to be quick to set up. For the absolute best retargeting possible, you have to create individual skeletons based on every single different performer. Luckily, Trash Praxis has an excellent video on the series. However, he covers from Motif 3.0 to Unreal Engine 5. I'll also make a follow-up video on how to get it from OptiTrack 2.3 to Unreal Engine 5 because there are small, however significant differences. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it useful. If you want to get a more in-depth and step-by-step guide, you can go down to the description where there is a much longer video where I go into the details. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below and see you in the next one.